Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It is me, once again, screaming into the void of the internet. I was watching this content creator, and I was thinking about something as well. And it's mainly about the concept of life, and how a lot of people in, a lot of this space, like they just call it, the awoken space, black pill, red pill, whatever you want to call it. Not the freaking grifters, just nibbas that talk about life, right? We like to see life for what it is, We say that life is what it is. Because a lot of people try and tell you that life is what you make it, and that's just a freaking lie. Because for the most part, you don't usually get a say in anything. You don't get a say in who your parents are. You don't get a say in where you're born, type of opportunities you're going to have. People like to say that, well, that's why you got to work hard and this, that, and the other. But realistically speaking, that's bullcrap. Because I was talking to my friend about this, and I know that I always talk to my friend because my friend's a very, I think he's like a deep thinker just like me, right? And we were talking about how, in like a lot of these Asian countries, they teach these kids about like gene splicing and all this crap, and yet they still have like this thing, at least in Japan. I don't know if there's a term in China. I'm sure that there probably is, where they freaking die of being overworked. I'm like, yeah, you see, they know all about this freaking gene splicing stuff, but realistically speaking, they still end up at these freaking jobs being overworked. They're like, oh, sure, they're like smarter in terms of like the freaking IQ, but like they're still doing the same jobs as, all these other people. So it's not like it's like, oh, well, just because you have like all this, in my opinion, more trivial knowledge, because realistically speaking, not everyone's going to be a freaking gene splicer, and not everyone's going to work with CRISPR-Cas9, so it's like, yeah, sure, like, they can know that, but it's just as useful as freaking hypothetical physics and thermodynamics. Like, oh, sure, is it kind of fascinating? Yeah, like I said, is it kind of important? I don't know, but, because, is that helping me with rent? Is that helping me with food? Is that helping me with nothing? It's, doesn't really mean anything. And, another thing is, I'm at least glad that I can see things for what they are, because, you see, I have the opinion that, I don't really care for optimism. I don't really like when people have too much hope, because too much hope is, borderline delusion. You know what I mean? It's just you with the inability to accept the world for what it is. Because, listen, here's my thing. I say this time and time again, because people seem to have this idea that if you accept the world for what it is, that you must have to be okay with it. That doesn't mean you're okay with it. You just have to accept how you have to navigate it. Listen, I hate the world. I hate the world with a passion. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to sit around here and pretend like it's better than what it is. Because, like I said, life isn't what you make it, but there are certain things that, you can control. You can respond how you're going to react to it, And that's why I'm so passionate about learning about history, because I can look at how those people reacted to it. And when I look at how a lot of people before us reacted to it, I feel like it makes it even more infuriating, because I personally do feel like the way that people did react to the world previously was the correct response. In a lot of aspects. Not everything, but in a lot of aspects it was. This pathetic, sorry-arse, punked, pussified generation of people that can sit around here with all this history and acknowledge that, hey, listen, the freaking gooberment is effing up my life, but I'm not ever going to take any action against them. That wasn't the freaking response that, we previously had. Not by a long shot. It wasn't. These cocksuckers telling you you're not going to be able to hunt without our say-so, fish built without our say-so. That wasn't... Listen, they could not pull this crap back in the day. And yet, you want to say that this generation is so enlightened and stuff with all this information that where you objectively know that these cocksuckers are effing you in your arsehole, whereas these people had to find that out, over, just investigations and investigations and investigations and stuff, and then you have this knowledge and you don't do anything about it? Yeah, sure. So that's kind of why I just laugh when people make it seem like, we're some kind of enlightened generation and stuff like that. That's not to say that those old-timers had all that crap figured out, not by a long shot, but I at least appreciate how they responded to things far more than we do. Far more. And I want to say another thing, because I listen to a lot of these guys, and there is this massive thing going on where a lot of these guys are freaking... They're going insane over this, freaking love crap and this family nonsense. And, I gotta just be real, because it's I know I use this analogy a lot, but it's why is it that they just can't accept it? You can accept that you've been lied to all this time, but for some reason you think that, the love is, the thing where you're just begging for someone to, prove you wrong. Listen, man, They lied to you about Santa Claus. They lied to you about the Tooth Fairy. They lied to you about, like, you know, you being special and you being able to do anything when you grow up. But you somehow can't accept that, no, some broad does not love you for who you are. No, you are not entitled to, like, you know, the whole multiple kids, white picket fence and crap like that. You're not entitled to it. And why is that so hard for you to accept? Like, you didn't already got effed over it. You can accept the economy's effing you. You can accept that you're not special. You can accept that you basically got a wage slave, but you really are of the opinion that there's some broad out here that's going to love you for you, not going to cheat on you, you know, not going to freaking cuck you. You know, it blows me away. Because, like, listen, dude, I'm going to be honest. Like, I said this before in a previous video, but, like, we're the generation of freaking divorced people. You know, like, we're raised by, like, families that are apart. We watch these people, like, freaking eat each other alive. Yet somehow you're envious for that? Do you genuinely think that you're going to be better? Really? Like, I don't get it. Because, listen, I'm going to be honest. When I was younger, right, I essentially had a pretty garbage childhood. Because I had a freaking druggy father. And my mom's not bad. She wasn't bad. So I'm not going to say that she was bad. But she still was one of these people, in my personal opinion, that really shouldn't have had kids. Why did you choose a freaking druggie as a dad? You know, like, why did you choose him? You know? So, basically, she's carrying, in the sense, like, she's mainly paying for us. And, you know, he's freaking doing jack crap, aside from abusing us. And so, for me, I essentially had to, like, borderline raise my siblings, right? And so, from that age, like, I was just like, dude, I don't want to do this when I grow up. I was saying it even young. Like, I mean this crap. And, like, whether or not you want to believe it or not, what you want to call it cope, I could give a rat's arse, because I know who I am. I was saying it young that, like, no, I was not going to have kids. You know, and this is not saying that this is the right way to, I want to make this clear, because people like to get so personal and passionate about this crap. No, I am not saying that this is the right way to live life. This is just my way of living life. I just knew from dealing with my freaking siblings and dealing with the lack of, like, sleep that I had to do and changing the diapers and the hollering and the screaming and all of this discipline crap that I did not want to deal with that. I did not want to deal with that. I said that when I basically had the ability to be on my own and stuff like that, I'm not going to deal with it. And, you know, I never changed. Just because, like, you know, my expansion of knowledge about the world has, you know, grown, that opinion has not changed. I do not want to deal with kids. I don't. It is exhausting, and I just don't want to deal with it. And again, nothing against the people who do. If you want that life, then, you know, freaking God bless you. Good luck. If you need to get it, then my only recommendation to you is literally passport, buddy. Because over in those countries, divorce doesn't really exist. You know, like, it might exist, but you're not going to, like, get divorce raped. So that's the best I can give you. Because the thing about that is, if you're in a hell as it is, that you can't accept that, like, these freaking chicks don't love you, that there's not this, like, freaking mystical white picket fence with the family and all this bullcrap. If you can't accept that now, God help you if it comes to divorce rape, dude, because I think that's going to take you out. These guys don't have hope as it is and stuff like that, and they want to kill themselves as it is. And you want to introduce more burdens, the burden of a wife, the burden of a family on you, and you think, well, that's going to make me want to fight. Okay, so what about when she leaves? Because, listen, this is a goddamn guarantee at this point. She's going to leave. You could think that it's not going to happen. Well, it didn't happen yet. We've been together for 3 years. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. These freaking people separated at, like, 5. You know, like, and even if they stay together, like, the moment that they're, like, freaking, like, the children have grown up, hey, you think she's still not going to want alimony? Oh, yeah, partner. Like, I don't know why people are sitting around here like, oh, well, it'll be different for me. You got all of this data showing you, but I guess the data doesn't matter because feelings, right? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. There's this guy, and he's like basically like a Spanish minister, right? And, you know, the guy's a solid dude, in my personal opinion. He had his own, like, warehouse company at first, because he's like an immigrant, but he's illegal. He's not illegal, he's legal. So I actually freaking respect this guy. And this is back a couple years ago, like before the pandemic got too bad. And his wife decided that she wanted a divorce. Now, mind you, these are Spanish people, because all these freaking guys want to sit around here and say that, oh, if I just get me a gal overseas and crap like that, it's different and crap, right? They directly came from that country. So it's not like one of these things where it's like, oh, like they're westernized. They came from a country that had better values and stuff like that. And so he comes here, and all of a sudden she wants a divorce. This guy makes decent money. He had his own company, like, and all this stuff, right? Just the divorce. She takes this man's kids, because I think he had, what, like 7, I think? Big family is Spanish, so, you know, right? Took, like, 7 kids. Takes the kids. I think she took, like, 5 of the kids. 2 of them that were, like, old enough to, like, kind of know what was up. They tried to stay with their dad. She took 5 of the kids, took one of the houses that he bought, like, in Texas, took those kids, moved to Texas, and he was basically, essentially, just visiting the kids, and, like, the guy looked miserable. You could see that crap was eating him up. You could really tell, because, like, I would see him before, you know, when he was giving ministry and stuff like that, and there was a glow in his eyes. And during that freaking time period, because, like, he's over it now. Like, he's seeing his kids a lot more now, but, man, that crap was not nice to see. Just the glow from his eyes. Just see, like, his soul is, like, dying daily and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, man, if you think that it's bad now, you go ahead and introduce kids. And love on those kids like a freaking good dad and stuff like that. And then watch this freaking cock-sucking, selfish-arse hoe just take your kids and your money. Because, let me say something else. She was, in typical fashion, with these freaking dumb arses that don't realize about this marriage crap, she started spreading rumors about this guy, right? She started spreading rumors that basically makes a whole bunch of the people that was working at his company. Because the thing about, like, these groups that people want to talk about, like when people were, like, in these big groups and how they, like, you know, loved each other and it was more community, also understand that all it takes is someone starting to spread rumors to, like, F up your group. Because for some stupid arse reason, instead of people actually hearing both sides, they hear one side, and usually, especially if it's a freaking woman, they're going to take that chick's side, regardless of what the guy has to say, and not let him get any words out, and they're just going to take her side. A whole bunch of the workers that he had with him, because, again, this is a Spanish, like, guy, you know, were, like, close friends of the family and all that stuff, and the moment that she got that divorce crap going, oh yeah, she swindled a whole bunch of those freaking workers. She was probably banging one of them. 9 times out of 10, let's be real. We know how the guys and the gals get down like that, right? At the end of the day, like, when it comes down to freaking infidelity, I'd argue that there is no honor in both, like, most men, and we know there's no freaking honor with women, but there is no honor with most guys either, because they're still willing to bang some dude's wife. Is what it is. You could talk about the freaking culture being principled all you want. They're more than willing to do it, despite how they know it's wrong. Right? So she basically convinces a whole bunch of, like, the workers that he's not worth it, and he's not, you know, not a good dude, despite the fact that, again, it's only because of him that most of these guys have the jobs anyway. And in spite of that, a whole bunch of those workers left. So much so that when he tried to keep that company going, he couldn't. He had a warehouse and everything. He was, like, making doors, you know, custom-made doors and stuff like that, and he didn't have enough workers anymore. Now, again, he's on good, you know, terms now. Now, I'm not talking about with his wife, but, like, he's a lot better off now. Because he was still a contractor. He's like a tradesman, you know, essentially. That's what I will respect about, like, a lot of these countries. Is, like, those countries, they at least teach the guys, you know, a lot of these skills. So it's like they have something. Still, I wonder how, like, he's getting business, considering that, you know, a whole bunch of us out here are trying to do it, you know, the so-called right way, and it seems like the legal way is the only way to actually, you know, get stuff to happen. He's getting business, but the fact that he had to go through that as a whole, like, why do they even have to? Why do these people why are they trying to normalize that this should be something that is expected of you to go through if you want a family? Oh, well, you should just fight for your family. Why should he have to? He shouldn't have to fight. That it's his family. Why should he have to fight for it? He should have to fight to protect his family, you know, from, like, stupid crap in the world, but not freaking getting divorced right by the freaking woman who he decided to sleep with. That's freaking insane. Don't make no goddamn sense. But if you say this, apparently you're the bad guy, right? And I gotta move because it's a stupid arse neighborhood, and so they're about to start some dumb arse argument that everyone could hear, but, you know, wonderful, ooh la la. If only I had a woman in my life, bro. If I had a woman in my life, it'll be so much better, but all I hear is arguments all these freaking days. It's so irritating to listen to this crap, dude. Because I'm telling you, man, when I listen to these guys, I thank God I'm not envious of that. Because, like, you know, in a certain aspect, it does suck that, you know, I had to grow up faster than like you normally do by taking care of those siblings. But it at least showed me that that life was not for me. That life is not for me. I just do not have time to be dealing with that crap. I just want to live free and do whatever the heck I want when I want, you know, because once you really eliminate like the amount of freaking money that you would need for a family and stuff like that, dude, like you don't need that much. You don't need that much. You know that you know what you are as a guy. You know that you're not gonna freaking eat. You're not gonna eat yourself like a freaking slob. You're not gonna freaking. If you take care of yourself, you're not gonna freaking blow up into a freaking goddamn water balloon. Now, if you want to blow up into a water balloon, like nothing against you guys, but you know, accept it for what it is. You know, don't freaking delude yourself into saying that it's all right and I'm healthy at any size or some dumb crap. You know, just own it. That's all I really got to say about that. But once you eliminate that from your like life and stuff like that, dude, like you don't really need that much money. It's not like you got to take care of something, you know, like because I've said this time and time again, like, you know, like one of the things that I'd actually want to do since I'm gonna have all this time on my hands is I want to develop like more advanced like sexual technology, right? Because there's a massive market for it and stuff like that. There's a massive market, and I genuinely feel that that would at least help a lot of these bros from freaking self-deleting. Because, like I said, for some reason, they're really having a hard time coming to grips with reality. They can come to grips with reality about how awful the economy is and a lot of stuff going on, but when it comes down to this relationship and family crap, they just can't. So if I can find a way to help them cope with that, then I'll help them cope with that. Even if it's like just with the freaking robot. If that stops that sucker from blowing his freaking brains out, then I'm fine with that. Like, basically, like, that's the only real reason I started, like, messing with hookers, you know? Like, I don't really care about hookers, because I'll be honest, gents, does it feel alright? Yeah, it does. It feels alright, but it's, like, it's empty, because you can't really do what you really want to do with them. At least, hold up, let me correct that. At least I won't. You got plenty of jackarses that's, like, slurping zinc out of these stots and stuff like that, but I'm not doing that crap, because, listen, I'm not kissing on this chick, I'm not licking on this chick, I'm not doing nothing, you know? Because at the end of the day, she's, in my personal opinion, a living, breathing cum depository. And you don't know what the heck's been up in there. You don't know who she's been around. You don't know what their hygiene is like. You don't know what they're carrying. So if you're smart, you're not going to kiss on her. You're not going to have her, like, give you direct stuff. Because I know it might sound like it's a better idea to just do it raw and stuff like that. And she'll be like, oh, I took a pill. And even if she takes the pill in your face, that don't mean nothing, man. Because at the end of the day, these chicks are still, number one, more than happy to baby trap you. And considering how many places have basically made it legal to lie about, like, basically intentionally giving someone an STD, oh yeah, don't freaking F yourself up. Don't F yourself up, man. So yeah, like, it feels good, but you can't do what you really want to do with them. And at the end of the day, I'll be honest, guys, it feels hollow as crap. Like, but realistically speaking, like, when you think about it, like, most of the sex that people have is probably hollow. Because these chicks can't bond with you as it is. They done seen, like, 80 dicks before they see you, so it's like, you really think that you're doing something to that broad? Or do you think that she's just making you? Because, listen, the way that hookers have done it, and if you, like, listen to a lot of interviews with hookers, right? The way that hookers do it is they pretend that you're doing something because they want to get you, you know, addicted to her. So that you want to constantly come back so that you fund her life. That's why, like, whenever I freaking, you know, get hookers and stuff like that, you know, I basically go, like, $30, $40, because I don't want to get this chick under the impression that, you know, like, I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis. I don't want her to see me as, like, a regular John to the extent that I'm basically going to be funding her stupid arse life, because, like I've always said, I can't be one of these guys that pays, like, these hookers hundreds of dollars, because at that point, it sounds like I'm a freaking boyfriend, you know, like, I want to be paying that crap like the same amount I'll pay, like, if I'm just eating out at a restaurant. I'm not going to give you freaking hundreds of bucks. Not me, you know. Do what you're going to do. It's your money. You work for it. But I'm not doing that, you know. That's why, for me, like, it feels just as empty, because they manipulate you the same way. They want you to get addicted. And a lot of these girls out here that making it seem like you're doing something crazy, listen, they don't feel that crap. They done got dug out, like, all throughout freaking middle school to high school to college. Despite how many dicks and, like, freaking boyfriends that she banging on the side, the guys she's talking to, letting her up in the DMs and in her womb, like, come on now. Now, people want to say, oh, well, it's wrong for anyone to, like, expect virginity. And I say, basically, I guess, but you also can't sit around here and say that you're some loyal arse broad and somehow 50 freaking dicks have been up in you. How are you loyal and you've had 50 dicks in you? 10 tops, maybe, but 50, nigga? Like, nah, man. There's just no way. There's no way. And this isn't really just me, like, just talking about women as a whole. It's just like, listen, man, you got to just start accepting life, you know, for what it is. That doesn't mean you have to like it, but you have to accept that you have to, like, deal with that crap, you know? Because I've always said this, man. I convert negativity into positivity. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always plenty of negativity. Because I have the opinion that it can always get worse. It can always get worse. Like, in spite of how, like, garbage my situation is, dude, it could be worse, you know? Like, it really could have been. I could have been born like a child sex slave or some bullcrap. You know, like, sold as, like, a freaking bargaining chip by, like, my freaking junkie arse dad. There's a whole bunch of crap, you know, that really could have happened. I could have been, like, freaking sexually abused and all kinds of crap. Yeah, sure, I got, like, physically abused, but, you know, I'll take the freaking bruises. I'll take, like, the scars. I'll take that. Because at least that wasn't, like, you know, some freaking sexual stuff and then, like, F my mind up. So, you know, I at least just take, like, that negativity and just say, yeah, this effed up stuff happened, but at least it wasn't as... That's the opinion that I have. Like, that's how I freaking stay sane, because I always accept the possibility that it can get worse. Because crap gets worse before it gets better. That's usually just how life usually is, man. It gets worse way before it gets better. Why is it such a freaking imbalance? Beats me. It's one of the many reasons why I'm not, like, into, like, you know, like, say, the whole, like, so-called universal balance bullcrap. I was like, buddy, man, there's far more evil in the world than good. Don't give me that freaking crap. People are trying to tell you otherwise, but it's just really not true. Not about a long shot. It's just how you deal with it. It's just how you cope with it. That really matters, I feel. And I don't really think it's anyone's place to tell you how to cope with it, how to deal with it. Because, hey, listen, the conclusion that I came to may not be the conclusion that you need. It's going to comfort you the best, and vice versa. That's why I don't really tell anyone that, you know, my way of living life or something like that is the valid way. Just follow my example. No, man, it's my experience. It's my human experience. I'm coping with it how I can. You got to cope with it how you can, you know. I just really hope a lot of these guys learn to cope with it in general, because a lot of these guys aren't holding on, you know. And they really think that if they freaking get this one thing, whether it's this family or this girl or whatever, it's going to make it better. And I'm telling you, man, I come from a community where these freaking girls F up these fellas' life. If you want to look at a community where, like, a freaking woman is going to F your life up, don't look at anything other than a good old ghetto ratchet arse black community. These chicks will destroy your life. A lot of these guys are in jail because of that crap. A lot of these guys are in jail over the freaking drama. A lot of these guys are in jail or dead because of the crap that these freaking chicks have done. And they don't give a rat's arse. They'll go right over to the freaking guy that killed them. They don't care. It is what it is, man. And then you get your life together and you're supposed to so-called take care of her. And she's got 7 kids. Oh, no. No. This is why I say, man, listen. Life's not what you make it. It is what it is. There are certain things you can control, but it's a whole lot of crap that you can't. So, you know, take what you can control and manipulate it as much as you need, excuse me. But you also got to accept that there's a lot that you can't. It is what it is, man. You know, it sucks, but you got to make what you can. Because, like I said, I got my game plan. I got my strat. You know, it's mine. Is it going to work? I don't freaking know. I'm over here trying to get to letter A to make step A happen, but that alone is really tough when you got all these instances where nobody's freaking hiring and all this stuff. So you're just stuck in a freaking genjutsu, essentially just repeating this crap over and over again, and you got to have someone hit release on you. So that's really all it boils down to. But that's basically what I'm going to talk about. It's just what I'm going to get over with. I know it's a lot earlier than I usually do, but hey, I guess at least you get to see some light for once. So hope you guys got something out of it. God bless. I'll see you next time.